starting with Volvo branded buses, which you said is a household name for luxury buses in India. What sort of plans does Volvo have vis-a-vis the buses that you have, as I mentioned, in terms of state transport contracts and other areas? Because now you have newfound competition in India. Mercedes is also coming in, there's Scania coming in, and there are other players also coming in, including Indian players like Ashok Leyland, which is also coming into the luxury bus segment. What sort of plans do you have vis-a-vis the bus category? Do you have any plans to expand capacity to maybe have more buses assembled in India, or have more model launches planned? Or could you share some details on that?
Absolutely. I think this is one area which is bound to grow in India. It's the public transport in India is at a very low penetration level. So I think there is something in for every player in the public transport area. So as far as we are concerned, we are very clear that we have set a very different bar. We have set a bar on in terms of quality and the comfort and the right quality which we have created. So which is what has weaned away a lot of people to move away from their cars to public transport. And we will continue on that journey. We will keep raising the bar. We intend to bring the hybrid buses. There's the next step. We've increased the capacity of the bus plant in the last 2 years.
Before you move to that, you mentioned hybrid buses. You'll have to give me a timeline on when can we see Volvo's hybrid buses coming into India, considering the government is also giving quite an impetus to electric and hybrid vehicles. So if you could give us a deadline on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've already put in 2 buses in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai. Those buses are doing exceedingly well. We are very happy with the performance of the buses. The customer is very happy. So we intend to take up the ante on this, and you will see soon a rollout plan of getting into more cities with hybrid buses. To my mind, hybrid is the first step in the towards electromobility, and I think that is the right way to go. And once this matures, we go into many markets. We're already almost in 34 cities with Volvo bus. We will try and see how many more markets we can go with the hybrid bus. So sky is the limit when it comes to this. So we have added capacity already in terms of quantity, in terms of capability, in terms of investments. Over the last 2 to 3 years, we went through a third or fourth round of investments. So we are ready. We are ready, and we are ready with technology. We are ready with products, we are ready with new business models, and we are ready with connected vehicles, and we want to bring in a lot more value to the customer end of the day. So it's not just the product, it's also the softer part of the services. So I think that is another area we are looking at.
So the last 2 questions, I would keep it. One of them would be in your truck division. Within the market, there has been a slowdown in the commercial vehicle sales in India for a while now. You at Volvo, while in terms of numbers you're limited, but then in terms of product offerings they're more superior, so you play in a different segment. What is Volvo's view on when the commercial vehicle in India is likely to revive in terms of sales? Because the lull we've been seeing for a while, there was a minor up in the during 2016, but we are back in the lows now. What is your outlook on say when commercial vehicle sales, particularly MNHCVs, are expected to rise in India?
No, I think the future is extremely very bullish for commercial vehicles. I mean, the only thing is there are going to be some paradigm shifts in terms of how we look at this. So I think first of all, one change which will happen is that you will see a very clear and significant movement from lower tonnage vehicle to higher tonnage vehicle. So you will do more with less, which means the numbers, the kind of work which one truck does or 3 trucks do today, probably 1 truck would do. So you have a long haul trucks, you have trucks with larger capacity, and trucks which are doing much more than, for instance, just to give you an example, typically the trucks in India do about 200 to 250 kilometers per day. Going forward, these trucks would do 800 kilometers per day. So those are the kind of paradigm shifts which you will see. Everything cannot be measured in terms of numbers. So a lot of trucking will happen, a lot of movement will happen, and GST will be one of the drivers for making this happen, because first of all, once you have the unified market, the interstate borders get smashed. So you have one unified market, the movement of trucks become much easier. So I think that is going to be, to me, is great days ahead for the trucking industry.
Right, sir. My last question, a short question, only on revenue targets. If you could speak to us about Volvo's internal revenue targets, where does Volvo see itself in terms of revenue, say 2 years down the line? Do you have any particular targets in terms of revenues in India?
Yes, we have, but we don't share country level targets, the numbers. But what I can tell you for sure is that over the next 3 years, we are going to 3 to 4 years, we are going to double our current revenues, and that's a very, very clear cut goal we have in front of us.
You're going to double your revenues. I think, sir, we're running out of time and we'll keep it at this. Thank you so much for speaking to Bloomberg. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.